Welcome back to Dice Station Zebra. I'm Rob,
I'm Jocelyn.
and this is our Marvel HeroClix Spider-Verse team sealed team builds.
That's right.
We got a brick courtesy of WizKids, and once again we thank WizKids for sending product along. And we opened up the entire brick of 12 boosters, and we built some teams.
We did.
So we built these teams as if we are playing in a team sealed event and as if we had a third player. So Jocelyn, tell us about Team Sealed. What is it? How does it work?
Absolutely. So Team Sealed is a format. It's super fun. You play in teams of three. So there's three players on your team.
Mm-hmm.
Each player is an A, a B, or a C.
Yep.
And then you play somebody else's team who has an A, a B, or a C. So the
Mm-hmm.
A players play each other, the B players play each other, and the C players play each other.
Right.
You stay that player for the whole event. So you get an entire brick of product, just like
Mm-hmm.
we opened up, 12 boosters, which is the new standard, and you build three 300-point teams, assigning one to each player, and you play with the same team for the whole event.
Right.
Okay, and then the tournament is Swiss pairings. You play a certain number of rounds,
Mm-hmm.
and your win-loss record is so if two players win their round, then
Mm-hmm.
you have a win,
Mm-hmm.
and if two players lose, you have a loss.
Yep.
And then you record points, so you sort of go on that way. And then at bigger events, like if you go down to Worlds in Memphis, then they do a top cut.
Right.
But
Okay.
typically smaller events, they just do a few rounds of Swiss.
Yeah.
And then all the prizes are awarded in triplicate, so everybody gets a prize for whatever the prizing is.
Nice. And it's a lot of fun. We've played in this type of event before.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot of fun, and it's just fun to build three teams out of all this product.
It is. It's really, really cool. We
Mm-hmm.
didn't play back in the days where they used to just give you two boosters each. We've only played in Team Sealed since they started giving you an entire brick. So
Mm-hmm.
you buy a brick of product, you get to open it all up, and at the end, you and your team decide how you want to distribute the products
That's
because you
right.
get to keep the product at the end of it. So it's probably my most favorite version of Sealed.
Yeah, it is. It's the ultimate format
It's the
for sealed.
it's the ultimate sealed format, and I
Yeah.
love that WizKids has been doing it at more events. So they're going to be doing it at Adepticon this coming weekend. If you're watching this when this video releases, Clicks Championship Open is running one.
Mm-hmm.
I would imagine there'll be one at Gen Con because there was one at Gen Con
Mm-hmm.
last year, and we got to play in one together at Canadian Nationals.
That's right.
And then, of course, we talked about Memphis at Worlds,
Yep.
where I've been playing for a couple of years there, 3 years with my friends Emily and Asia as Calm Your Clicks.
And I played my first in the most recent Worlds,
That's right,
my first team sealed event.
with Chris and Danielle.
And Danielle, it was an amazing event. So a lot of fun.
Yeah, it was fantastic. So we built some teams.
We did.
Do you want? It's super hard because you open this brick. You have
So many
20
choices.
minutes.
Oh yeah, the time constraint is
So
the
you have like
toughest part.
20 minutes to open the brick,
Yeah.
build three teams, and write a team sheet.
Mm-hmm.
So you really have to sort of tear into it. We didn't want
Yeah.
to do that on camera because we don't have three people,
Yes.
and B, it's a lot.
Yeah.
So Rob, why don't you tell me about the first team we built?
Okay, so we're going to look at this team over here. Now, this has Bedlam, Norman Osborn, Spider-Man Noir. He starts with Norman Osborn. That's the Goon Army, Goblin Army.
Yeah.
Sorry, it is a Goon.
Mm-hmm.
We have the Black Symbiote, and we're using Spider-Punk with the guitar, and he's going to be on the glider.
Yep.
So, we should take a look at this team, right?
We should.
Okay, so, and that's not the one. Let's take a look at this one.
Yes.
Okay, this is our B team that we made. And as you can see, we have Bedlam at 120 points. Now, what does Bedlam do? Bedlam is the close attacker in this
Mhm.
team.
And he has prob.
And he has prob, yes. That's very important. Um, but the centerpiece really is Spider-Punk, right? Because Spider-Punk has running shot, and he has a power. One of his powers is Pulse Wave, his special attack power. It's called Guitar Smash, and it's Pulse Wave, but it instead deals 2 damage if all targeted characters are hit. So if everyone in the Pulse Wave range gets hit, it's 2 damage.
Nice.
And also once per turn, when Spider-Punk uses Pulse Wave, you may re-roll the attack roll. So Bedlam's the close attacker, Spider-Punk is the range attacker. We gave him the glider for extra maneuverability to get him around the map.
Yeah, because it gives him flight.
hmm And we have Norman Osborn as the leader. Spider-Punk himself does have leadership.
Hmm.
He also has willpower. But Norman Osborn starts at 35 points. He has leadership. He also has telekinesis on the top two clicks. And when Norman Osborn uses it to place a character that shares a keyword with him, modify the character's range +2. So that would work. That's really good. So as long as they share a keyword, and Spider-Punk and Osborn share politician.
Yep.
And of course, Norman Osborn starts with Goblin Army, and we put Spider-Man Noir in this team. Spider-Man Noir on his second starting line, and for 30 points, and he's interesting because when he is placed by a friendly effect, so telekinesis, that would
Hmm.
work from Norman Osborn, or his wall crawler ability, which is free, place this character in a square of different elevation within 4 squares in line of fire. So when he's placed by a friendly effect, after resolutions you use Smoke Cloud as free. You may use it as free. And then friendly characters occupying any smoke terrain can use Shape Change. So hopefully you can protect your team with all
Yeah.
that Shape Change.
And he's got Perplex.
Yep, and he has Perplex. And we also have Black Symbiote because we had 15 points. And Black Symbiote is pretty good because he can do exploiting damage. And he also, when he's KO'd, you can place the Black Symbiote on a friendly character's card, and if you do this game, that character can use Shape Change, Steal Energy, and Super Strength. And I think that's what you're kind of hoping for, is for Black Symbiote to get KO'd, so that you can put that on one of your main attacking pieces.
Yeah, I would absolutely consider putting him on Bedlam,
Yes,
right? To
absolutely.
give Bedlam Steal Energy.
Hmm.
He already has Super Strength, but
Hmm.
the Shape Change, but the Steal Energy would be useful.
Yeah. So, and you're going to tell us about the Kangaroo team, correct?
I am.
Yeah.
This team over here.
Hmm.
So, this team, I'm going to talk it through this way. So, we have Webslinger on this team.
Hmm.
He's a super rare. This is almost a Spider Man family theme team, and I'll get to that in a second. But Webslinger has the pilot ability, and we have two things that can be piloting Webslinger. We can use Spider's Man, which would allow him to either have Incapacitate and Empower, or Poison and Battle Fury.
Hmm.
And then on the sideline, we also have the Lizard, and the Lizard would probably be giving Webslinger Precision Strike and Shape Change. He could also give him Blades, Claws, Fangs, but it's not as good of an effect because Webslinger is a range attacker. And he's got Quick Draw. So if you can make the first attack of your turn with him and he hits, then he removes an action token from himself.
Hmm.
So the idea is he running shots and hits with a range attack, and he's got range combat expert, so he's a 12 for 4. Hopefully he hits, and maybe you've given him precision strike and shape change,
Hmm.
and it's a pretty good power. So Lizard is also on the sideline for the effect of Dr. Kurt Connors, which is our support and perplex piece on this team. And then if you happen to roll a single d6, and he's got a couple of ways to do that, he's got shape change, he's got willpower. If you roll the single d6 and get a 6 result, you can choose to bring in the Lizard on click number 4.
Okay.
I don't know that you want to do that on this team because I think your support and perplex is more valuable, but there could be a point where you want to do that. Then we have Morlun, who is not a Spider-Man family, but he becomes one because of Spider-Cat. So Spider-Cat gives everyone with the animal keyword the Spider-Man family keyword. So that's what Spider-Cat is there for. And there's also a Friends Across the Spider-Verse trait. So you can, if Spider-Cat hits, somebody else with the Spider-Man family keyword of less points can be brought up next to him, and then you can make another attack potentially. Morlun is the centerpiece of the team. He is 80 points. He's got Steal Energy, and when he would heal, he can instead generate one of his 4 Inheritor Bystanders.
Right.
And when they heal, because they all have Steal Energy, when they heal, you can heal Morlun.
Yeah.
So it's really, really cool. Morlun has Mystics. We've made him Spider-Man family. It's a pretty neat ability here. He's got leadership. He starts with Invincible, and he's our range person, or he's a charge person. And then we also have Kangaroo, who is also a charge person. And Kangaroo has, if he knocks people back, he can sidestep twice. He's got close combat expert, and he's improved movement, destroy blocking. So
Hmm.
some really cool stuff there.
Yeah.
We had a couple of points left over. So we have red symbiote, so similar to the black symbiote, on 15 points. It's got poison and close combat expert. The idea is that you want it to get KO'd, because when you do, you can give something blades, claws, fangs, shape change, and sidestep.
Hmm.
That would be pretty cool to give to Morlin. You could also give it to Kangaroo.
Hmm.
And then we had 2 one-shots. So there's web swinging for 5 points. When a friendly character that can use leap climb would be hit, you may place them up to 2 squares away from their current square. If you do, that character evades the attack. So Kangaroo has leap climb traded. And then you have assemble the team. When a friendly character uses leadership and succeeds, you may choose a copyable team ability a friendly character can use. Until your next turn, all friendly characters can use that team ability and treat each other as adjacent when they use it, if applicable. And there is a police team ability on the
Yes.
web
Hmm.
slinger. So that could be super effective if you use the leadership,
Yeah.
and web slinger can make an attack, and then all of your people, if they can draw line of fire
Hmm.
to the opposing character, can minus the defense. Minus the target's defense -1 if they're within line of fire at this
That's
character.
amazing.
So it's kind of a neat niche thing,
Yeah.
but I think it's a fun team, and it's going to have a
You
lot
could
of moving
you
parts.
could really surprise your opponent with that police team ability
Yeah,
on everyone all at once like
once,
that.
once you can do it.
Once. Yeah.
That's all it takes.
That's right.
What's the third team, Rob?
Okay, the third team we centered around our chase, which is the Electro piece here.
Nice.
And we have Tombstone, Mysterio with his 2 illusion or no, they're not even bystanders, they're just illusion figures. We have Dr. Kurt Connors there. Norman Osborn, who starts with this 15-point Goblin Army.
Yep,
All for the 35 points you pay for him. And we have the Spider Bot, I believe
that's
that's
right.
called, Spider
Which
Bot.
is also a goon.
Yeah. So
So how's this team work, Rob?
this team, first of all, I want to shout out HC Units and Claywood. This is an amazing website,
It
and we
really
put all our
is.
teams in here. It even backfills all the associated units that you could use in this because you could use all these different goons, right?
Yeah, in sealed, obviously you can't,
No, you cannot. You can't.
but in constructed.
Yeah, absolutely. But we only have access to certain things this time around. But it does backfill all your potentials here, which
Yeah,
is pretty neat.
and that's the cool thing about the goon trait is that
Hmm.
you can bring in goons from any set,
Yeah.
right? So there's so many different types of goons.
So I'm going to start with Electro. Electro's our chase. We're going to play him at 75 points. He grants all characters with the Sinister Syndicate keyword Energy Shield Deflection.
And this
And
is a team.
this is a team of all Sinister Syndicate.
Yeah.
He has his Energy Explosion. When Electro uses it after resolutions, deal 1 penetrating damage to any characters that evaded the attack, which is pretty neat. And he starts his top clicks have Range Combat Expert. And at the beginning of your turn, you may roll a d6. On a 4 through 6, deal 2 damage to an opposing character within range line of fire.
Yeah,
Pretty
and
neat.
that's super awesome in this set because there's so much super senses.
Hmm.
So people will be evading attacks and then they take a pen.
That's right. Tombstone, we're playing at 90 points. That gives him leadership, but Tombstone is basically our close attacker.
Mm-hmm.
And he also has the Underworld team ability, so he can also carry people. He can be a bit of a taxi.
Yeah, especially at 90 points because it's you can carry 2 characters if they're less points,
Yeah, that's true.
right?
That's true.
And also he reduces penetrating damage.
Oh, that's good to point out.
So he's got the impervious, but he also reduces penetrating damage. So you can roll out potentially if it's a penetrating psychic blast or an exploit weakness.
Yep. And then we have Mysterio, who is our outwitter. He also has Incapacitate and Smoke Cloud on that special attack power. When he uses Smoke Cloud, after resolutions, generate a number 2 Mysterio on its red starting line in a square of hindering terrain within range. So every time he uses that Smoke Cloud, you can be generating your Mysterio bystanders, which is pretty neat. Then we have Norman Osborn, that we previously talked about.
Mm-hmm. Super good.
He comes with his Goblin Army person. And then we have Dr. Kurt Connors, who is going to be on the team for Perplex and support. And then we have the Spider Bot, because we had 15 points left over. And then we are using a one-shot. It's the Cannon event. The effect is when a friendly character is KO'd, after resolutions, you may choose a friendly character to gain immune until your next turn.
It's super interesting. I don't know how effective it's going to be, but immune, for those that are not familiar, because we don't use that term a lot, it is on the pack, the powers and abilities card. It says this character can't be moved, placed, damaged, or targeted by the effects of opposing game elements, and that is protected pulse wave.
Mm-hmm.
So if you've got somebody who's maybe low dial, and maybe your spider bot gets KO'd, or one of the illusion generator gets KO'd, you can protect something until your next turn so that it can come in and hopefully smash face.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Yeah.
So you can protect your star attacker if it's double tokened or something.
Yeah.
It's a pretty neat idea.
So things to think about when you're building Team Sealed when it's, so quick. Maybe you want to go back on
Yeah.
that. Yeah. You don't have a lot of time, right? So basically, you want to pick a piece you want to build around. Everyone's got a different play style. So you might have a different play style than the people that you're playing with.
That's right.
And then you help each other fill out the teams. Theme is not super important. It's nice to have.
Yeah.
But it's not super important because the important part is getting as many of those support powers on your team as possible. And that was very challenging in this set because there's not a lot of probability control. There's not a lot of leadership. There's not a lot of outwit or perplex. So some of these teams don't have all of the powers that we would like them to have. But we had to make some hard decisions.
We did.
Right?
We did for sure. But basically, my suggestion would be in the Team Sealed, if you've never done it before, first of all, we highly encourage it.
Yes.
And because it's a lot of fun. And we were very easygoing about it. So basically, I think each player is going to know what they want to play the most, like if they have a favorite piece. They'll just go for it. And then they will basically build their own team. So you will basically be focused on your own team. You'll play what you want to play, support it with whatever you want to support it with, and hopefully the pieces all fall into place.
Yeah, and the key thing to remember is that you want to have fun.
That's right. Have fun with it.
Winning is nice. Don't get me wrong. But you want to have fun. That's the key point. So everybody typically is having fun at a Team Sealed event because you've just opened a bunch of new figures. You don't really know what they necessarily do unless the set's been around for a while. It's always more fun when the set's new.
Right.
And you're just having fun. So like last year at Memphis, if I can tell a quick story.
Go for it.
I was playing Poseidon because it was Masters of Time. And he was flooding the map with water. And there was one game where I pulled off the quake power. And he crit hit. And knocked everyone back. And everyone took 3 damage plus knockback damage. And my opponent's team was just like... more than half of it was gone after that attack. And I was like, oh, I'm so sorry. And he's
incredible.
Like, no, that's so awesome. That was like the best thing ever. I'm so glad it happened. Because it's neat to see it go off, right? Yeah. It's not something that would go off very often. So anyway, there's cool things that'll happen. Go in there with a good mindset of I want to have fun and play with these figures and play the type of team you like. Like when you're building your Team Sealed group, we don't all have the same play style. My typical Team Sealed group of Emily and Asia, we all have different play styles. Right? So it works out really well because we sort of gravitate to different things. And then we help once one person's got their team built, I'm writing out, team sheets or I'm helping them find pieces to fill out their teams. What do you need? You need outwit? Here's some outwit. You need this keyword? Here's the keyword. Right? And then we fill that out. So it's super fun. We hope that this has given you some good insight.
Yeah, hope so.
Into Team Sealed and what you might see when you go down to one of these events.
Yeah.
And watch for us to play the games, I guess.
Yeah, and what we're going to do is we are going to, in separate videos, of course, we're going to play these teams on camera. We'll play them. We'll randomly determine which teams are going to play against each other in the first game.
Yep.
And whatever team wins has to play the third team.
That's right.
So we're going to do that. We're going to record the games and put them up here on the channel. And you can win one of these teams.
That's right.
Jocelyn, tell us how they can win one of these teams.
You can win one of these teams by being a Patreon member at the $5 tier. So we are going to select a date, which has not been selected yet.
Right.
So we're going to select a date.
I think the date should be March 15th, 2025.
I think that's a great date.
Okay.
Okay, that's the date. It's a date, March 15th, 2025. So if you are a Patreon member at the $5 tier and you are active and in good standing at that point, you will be entered into a random draw to win one of these three teams. So all you have to do is head over to patreon.com/dicestationzebra, join at the $5 tier, and we understand that not everyone can financially manage that every month, so it's totally fine if you want to join and then drop off
Yeah.
and what have you,
Perfect.
whatever
Yeah. Join for
works
a
for
month.
you.
See
So
if you
yeah,
can win, and yeah.
so we'll do 3 random draws. The first person's name that we draw randomly will get their choice of team, then the second person, and then the third person will get the third team.
Yep.
And yeah, so that's what we're going to do for this.
That's
And
what
then
we're gonna do.
also, we do have the legacy card draw for anyone who likes, comments, and subscribes to the YouTube channel. You don't have to be a Patreon member for that. And the like, comment, and subscribe should go on the unboxing video.
That's right.
And we'll do the draw at the same time. So yeah.
Okay, well, there you go. The deadline is March 15th, 2025. And we will be drawing to give away all of these teams.
That's
So
right.
3 of you lucky Patreon members will get a chance at a team here.
At a chase, at a super rare, a double super rare, at a pulp team.
Pretty much. Yeah.
Not entirely, because the Goblin Glider is not allowed in pulp.
Oh, right.
No equipment in pulp.
Yeah, that's true.
So yeah,
That's
but
true.
there's some cool stuff in here. It is pretty nice, and we're looking forward to giving some of this away.
We are. And we thank you all for watching, and keep an eye out. We will be having our gameplay videos coming soon with these teams. And with that, we'll say bye for now. See ya.
Bye.